Hello, hello.
हाँ शिवम।
प्रेजेंटेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं।
हाँ सर बोले ना आयुष को।
हम्म।
व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स?
Ashish is going to join us in 2 minutes. He is still busy, and I am messaging
अंकिता।
to Ankita. I have messaged her, but
ओके
she haven't
ओके
seen my message yet.
ठीक है।
Ayush, please start the presentation as the recording is going on. So, run the script also mode space and index.js. Now to Chrome. हाँ वही मैं सोच रही थी लोकल में सस्ती पड़ेगी पता है। So guys, I am going to share my screen. So let's continue. Let's not waste time. From where we will start now? File handling or NumPy tutorial? Please tell anyone. Pratik, can you please start the presentation?
Hello.
हाँ निशु.
Hello everyone. Today I am presenting. My screen is visible.
Not yet now.
Hello,
Wait.
Shivam. Okay, okay. Ab?
Yes, Nishu, your screen is visible now.
Okay. Yesterday, I think virtual environment was done, right?
Yes.
Okay, now going forward, the next topic is file open. File handling is an important part of any web application. Python has several functions for creating, reading, and updating and deleting files. Open file systems के अंदर we have different functions to execute our code like creating, reading, updating and deleting. File handling is the major key function जिसके लिए हम open function को use करते हैं. The open function takes two parameters like file name and mode. When we using the open function, so we use the two parameters. Very first is file name and second one is mode. 4 टाइप के मेथड्स को हम ओपनिंग फाइल सिस्टम में यूज करते हैं. These are the 4 modes. Very first is R, which is represent the read, and second one is A, which represent append, and W for write, and X for create. In addition, you can specify the file should be handled as a binary or text mode. हम अपनी किसी भी फाइल को बाइनरी या टेक्स्ट मोड में भी रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. उसके लिए हम मोड यूज करते हैं T फॉर द टेक्स्ट एंड B फॉर द बाइनरी. दिस इज द simple syntax for the file handling. To open a file for reading, it is enough to specify the name of the file. Whenever we are going to open the file या फिर reading the file, so it is very mandatory to specify the name of that particular file. So here is the example. F is equal to open demo file.txt. नीचे हमको कोड दिया गया है because R for read and T for text are the default values. You do not need to specify them. जैसा कि हमने ऊपर पढ़ा कि फाइल हैंडलिंग में R और T पहले से ही प्रीडिफाइन होते हैं, तो there is no need to specify them. This is the exercise question. What is the function used for opening files? तो कोई बता पाएगा? हेलो.
Open function.
Open function. Okay. Correct. Shivam, I am not able to execute the code. Okay.
No problem. You continue.
Okay. We move further. Second topic is file open. Open a file on the server. Suppose हमने किसी भी फाइल को अपलोड किया है कहीं भी, and then we have to find that file and open that file. So this is the basic syntax of that. To open the file, use built open function. किसी भी फाइल को open करने के लिए we use a open function on that server. The open function returns a file object which has a read method to reading the content of the file. What is the content in the file? Whatever you have done in your file, you just open the open function with the read method. So then you will be able to read out the whatever you done, whatever you write in your file. This is the example of the open file.
Nishu, you
Here
can
we
just
run the
use.
example.
Yes, yes.
Okay, तो as you can see guys कि नीचे हमारा output में आ गया hello welcome to the demo file.txt. This file is not this for testing purpose. Good luck. This is the second example for the different location using the with statement. We can also using the with statement for opening the file. This is the example with using the with keyword with open demo file.txt as we print f right. Now go for the example. As you can see guys, it read it. Second one is close files. It is good practice to always close the files when you are done with it. जैसे ही आपका फाइल का काम खत्म हुआ, then you go for the closing purpose. If you are not using with statement, you must write a close statement order to close it. तो अगर आपने with statement का यूज नहीं किया अपने फाइल एक्सटेंशन में, तो then you will go for the close statement to close that file. This is the example of closing the file. P is equal to open print to read line and f close. Here is the note: you should always close your files. In some cases, due to buffering, changes made to a file may not show until you close the file. Because of the buffering, sometimes ऐसा होता है कि फाइल हमारी actively close नहीं हो पाती है, तो whenever you work on that, you just close it. Read only part of the file. By default value, read method returns the whole text, but you can also specify how many characters you want to return. Return the 5 character of the file. Here is the example. It will return the 5 character of the file. So here you can see in the output there is a 5 character of the file. That word is hello, and whenever you reading, it is 5. HELLO. You can return one line by using the read line method. आप किसी भी लाइन को रिटर्न कर सकते हैं read line method को भी यूज करके. The read line method of the file, this is the example with open as if print default line run example. Further, we have another example. Let's run them. This is the exercise based question. After opening a file with the open function, which method can be used to read the content? So I think read is the option. The correct one. Okay, we move further. Python file write. Write to an existing file. To write an existing file, you must add a parameter to open file. A for append and W for write. This is the example which will open the file that name is demofile.txt and append content to the file. This is the code. Here we execute that. This code for overwrite existing content. And another topic is create a new file. For to create a new file in Python, you just use the open method. On open method के अंदर भी we have several parameters like x, a and w. X for a create, a for a append, and w for a write. And here is the example of that. Suppose we have to open a या फिर create a new file with the name of myfile.txt. Run that code. So here we can see कि there is no output. The error is अगर आपकी file already exited है तो it will show the error. This is the exercise based question. What happened to the original file content if you open a file like this? So can anybody can reply? Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Hello?
हेलो।
कोई सुन रहा है?
हाँ सुन रहा हूँ, बोलो।
Yes.
आशीष रिप्लाई कर.
The original content will be overwritten.
Okay, let's check it. Yes, it's correct. Second topic is delete file. How to delete file in a Python. To delete the file in the Python, you just to use the os remove function. This is the example. Import os and os remove demofile.txt. Demofile.txt हमारी एक real executed वाली फाइल है जिसको हम यहाँ पे remove करेंगे. This program is for checking does the file is exist or not. After removing the file, it will be exist or not. This is the particular code for delete the entire folder. For that, we're using the os.rmdr function to delete the entire folder. You can only remove empty folders also. This is the question to remove a file. You can import the OS module, but which functions remove the file? Contains- शिवम आई थिंक अब numpy ट्यूटोरियल है ना
हाँ अब numpy ट्यूटोरियल
ये राधिका ने क्लास ज्वाइन कर रखी है क्या
आशीष की माइक ऑन है वहां से आवाज आ रही है
Sorry.
numpy ट्यूटोरियल तो numpy इज अ पाइथन लाइब्रेरी numpy हमारी पाइथन में एक तरीके की लाइब्रेरी है जिसको यूज किया जाता है एरेज के लिए numpy शॉर्ट फॉर न्यूमेरिकल पाइथन अगर numpy की शॉर्ट फॉर्म है तो दैट इज न्यूमेरिकल पाइथन लर्निंग बाय रीडिंग we have created 43 tutorial pages for you to learn more about the numpy starting with a basic introduction and end up with the creating and plotting random data set and working with the numpy function. These are the basic function in numpy library. Very first is introduction, getting started, creating arrays, array indexing, like this. These are the random functions, U functions. Now let's learning by the example. In the example, firstly we create a numpy array, import numpy as empty. Just we are here created the array and then print array. Now try it. Here you can see in the output the array is created 1 2 3 4 5 और जो हमने class define करी थी that is numpy. This is the execution question. What does numpy stand for?
Numerical Python.
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 Yes. This is the basic introduction of the numpy. Numpy is a Python library used for working with array. If we go for an array, we just use numpy in the Python. इसके पास बहुत सारे functions है like working in domain for linear algebra, Fourier transform and matrices. NumPy was created in 2005 by Travis Oliphant. It is an open source project and you can use it freely. NumPy हमको पहले से ही predefined मिलती है Python के अंदर. You can use it freely. NumPy stands for numerical Python. Now this is the question arises here why we use NumPy. In Python we have lists that serve the purpose of array but they are slow to process. Whenever we go for a array function या फिर array code तो it will take lots of time to execute so just limit out that time we use the numpy library in Python. NumPy aims to provide an array object that is up to 50x faster than the traditional Python list. जो NumPy library है वो हमारी Python में क्या करती है किसी भी ट्रेडिशनल Python list से उसकी स्पीड को फास्टर अप कर देती है 50x टाइम तक. The array object in NumPy is called a ND array. जो भी ऑब्जेक्ट एरे हम प्रीडिफाइन करते हैं अपनी numpy लाइब्रेरी में उसको रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं ND array से. It provides a lot of supporting function that make working with ND array very easy. जो ND array हमारा numpy का array object है वो सपोर्ट करता है बहुत सारे functions को जिससे हम जितने भी हमारे टास्क हैं it will be make easier. Array are very frequently used in data science where speed and resources are very important. Why is NumPy faster than list? What is the reason behind it कि NumPy works faster than list? NumPy arrays are stored at a continuous place in memory, unlike list. So processes can access and manipulate them very efficiently. numpy arrays क्या होती हैं, किसी भी continuous place पे हमारी stored होती हैं. That makes easier to us to manipulate them, access them, and working on them very efficiently. This behavior is called locality of reference in computer science. That place where all the numpy arrays is stored, that place is called the locality of reference. This is the main reason why numpy is faster than list. Also, it optimized to work with latest CPU architectures. Which language is numpy written in? What is the language जो numpy को लिखा है? तो numpy is a Python library and it is written partially in Python. But most of the part that require faster computation are written in C or C++ language. This is the basic question for the last time. Same numerical Python. Now started the numpy. So this is the basic description how to install a numpy. Installation of numpy. If you have a Python and a pip already installed on a system, then installation of numpy is very easy. अगर आपके system में पहले से Python installed है और pip, तो then it will be very easy to install the numpy. So this is the command which you are using for the installing. Import numpy. Once numpy is installed, import into your application by adding the import keyword. जैसे installation is completed, then you will import the numpy library by using the import keyword. Now numpy is imported and ready to use. Okay, this is the basic code. Import numpy array. हमने define कर दिया, फिर हमने array को print करा लिया. Let's try it out. Here you can see this is the array which we want as output 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. NumPy as NP. NumPy is usually imported under the NP alias. What is alias? In Python, alias is an alternate name for referring the same thing. किसी भी alternate name को represent करने के लिए हम aliases का use करते हैं. Just like in grammar synonyms. Create an alias with as keyword while importing. तो here we can see कि firstly हम उसको जो numpy हमारी library थी उसको हम import कर रहे थे as a numpy. Now we can use as a np. That is the shortest form further. Now the numpy package can be referred as np instead of numpy. So here is the example. Import numpy as np. We are created one array and then print that array. Now check it. It will show the same result. After the installation of numpy in your PC or computer, you can check the version of that. The version string is stored under this attribute. Simply you just write down that code and you just check out what is the version of your numpy. So here we can see, so here is the version is 1.1603. The another topic in the numpy is just creating an array. Creating a numpy ND array object. NumPy is used to work with array. The array object in NumPy is called the ND array. Whatever the object you are using in the NumPy array, it is called the ND array. So NumPy ND array object using the array function. Here is the example. Import NumPy as NP and we are created a array, print array और उसका type array. Just go with the result. Here is the output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is array, and classes, that is numpy, which is represented by the ND array. To create an ND array, we can pass a list, tuple, or any array-like object into the array method. It will be converted into ND array using a tuples to create a numpy array. Let's try it out. It will also show the same answer. Dimensions in array. A dimension in array is one level of array depth. Nested array. Nested array are the arrays that have the arrays as their elements. Very first is OD array. OD array or scalars are the element in an array. Each value in an array is a OD array. Create a OD array with the value of 45. Here is the simplest example where we import the NumPy library as a NP and created an array of the number 42 and then last printed out. Now let's check out the answer. It's 42. The second type of array is 1D array, and an array that has 0D arrays as its element is called a unidimensional or 1D dimensional. These are the most common and basic array. Create a 1D array containing the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we creating a 1D array with the value containing the 1, 2, 5. Now check it out. So here in the result we got the array as a result 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But earlier we got as a single number, that is 42. The another type of array is 2D array. An array that has 1D array as its element is called a 2D array. These are often used to represent matrix or second order tensor. NumPy has a whole submodule dedicated towards matrix operations called NumPy mat. This is the example where we created the 2D array containing two arrays level values very फर्स्ट डी एरे में हमारी वैल्यूज है 1 2 3 और सेकंड में हमने डाला है 4 5 6. तो here is the simplest example. Let's try it out. So here you can see there are two arrays are created. Very first is 1 2 3 value that is containing and second one is 4 5 6. The next type is 3D array, an array that is two-dimensional array. Here you can say matrix as its element is called a 3D array. These are often used to represent third order tensor. ये third order tensor को बताता है. This is the example to create a 3D array with 2D arrays, both containing two arrays with the values 1 2 3 and 4 5 6. Let's try it. So this is the example of 2D array. Here is two different arrays are created. Move further, check number of dimensions. NumPy array provide the endim attribute that returns the integer that tells us how many dimensions the array have. Whenever you designing an array or working with the array, so it has having a dimension. So to know the what is the value of that dimension or that particular integer, you just using the endim attribute. So this is the example. Check how many dimension the array have. Just check. So it shows you the what is the dimension of the array it have. In very first is 0, second one is 1, and in third array that contains the C is 2, and the last is D that contains the 3. Another topic is the higher dimensional array. An array can have number of dimensions. When the array is created, you can define the number of dimensions by using the endim argument. So this is the example creating an array with 5 dimension and verify it is a 5 dimension. So here is the example where we are trying to verify that code and that array and that value has a 5 dimensions. Let's try it out. Number of dimensions here is 5. Consider the array. How many dimensions does it have? कोई आंसर करेगा? हेलो
1 minute. Two answers.
Yes, it's correct. Another topic is NumPy array indexing. Access array element. whatever you're inserting in your array, you just access what are the elements and how many elements in their array. Array indexing is the same as the accessing an array element. तो array indexing is same as the कि आप कितने element को access कर पा रहे हैं whatever you put in your array. You can access an array element by referring to its indexing number. In indexes and numpy array start with 0, meaning that the first element has the index 0 and the second has index 1. So whenever you put the value in your array, so it will be assign a indexing. So very first to start with the 0 and second one further move like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is the example. Get the first element from the following array. Here is the array that is containing the value 1, 2, 3, 4. But in the print value, we are want to what is the value of that place where indexing value is 0. So here is the example. We just read it out earlier key very first element is starting with the indexing 0. So here is the example 1. If we put the value and the braces is 2, so then it will be show the value 3. This is the second example. Here we try to print out the value of that value which indexing value is 1. So it shows 2. Example number third. Here we are trying to get the value of that value which having the indexing number 2 plus 3, that is 7. Here we add on the value of that value which having the indexing number 2 and 3. So at that place 2 having the value this is 3 and 3 having the value 4. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Now another topic is access 2D array. To access element from 2D array we can use comma separated integers representing the dimension and the indexing of the element. To access the element from 2D array. अगर आपको 2D array में से किसी भी element को access करना तो you just go with the comma separated integer. Think of 2D array like a table with rows and columns where the dimension represent the rows and the index represent the column. In 2D array जो rows हैं represented by the dimension and column represented by the index. This is the code. Access the element on the first row and second column. Here we import the library, second we inserted the array, and third we print the value second element and first row. Second element in first dimension, that is 2. We have another example also. Access the element on the second row, fifth column. So here is the value of the second row and fifth column, that is 10. Access 3D array. To access 3D element, we can use the comma separated integer representing the dimension and the index of the element. Whenever you want to access the any element in any array in 2D or 3D, you just using the comma separated integer. This is the example. Here we are tried out the value of 0, 1 and 2 indexing values. The answer is 6. Example explained. So this is the explanation of the above example, where array containing the value 0, 1 and 2 and print the value 6. And why this is? The first number represent the first dimension which contain 2 array. Here are the 2 array. Very first is 1, 2, 3 and second one is 4, 5, 6. These are the element of the different 2 array. And 7, 8, 9 and 10, 11, 12 are the 2 different array. Since we selected 0, we are left with the first array. The second number represents the second dimension which also contains 2 array. That is 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. Since we selected 1, we are left with the second array. Second array pe we have to move further. That is 4, 5, 6. The third number represents the third dimension, which contains three values. It will be like 4, 5, and 6. If we selected 2 here, so we end up with the third value, that is 6. So this is basically all the concept of indexing. Here we go for the negative indexing. We use the negative indexing to access an array from the end. In the negative indexing, you have to just read out the array from the end. This is the basic example. Print the last element from the second dimension. Here we are trying to uh, print out the last element from the second dimension, and array में हमने indexing कर दिया है. Very first is 1 and second one is -1. Now try. The last element from the second dimension is 10. So this is the question. Considering the code, import numpy as a MP. Here we are trying to print out the value of 1, 1 and 0. So what will be the result?
I think 7.
7. Okay. Yes, it's correct. 0, 0, 1 and 1. ठीक है. Move further with the concept of array slicing. Slicing in Python means taking element from one given index to another given index. Just switching the indexing is the slicing. We pass slice instead of index like this. This is the basic function which we are using. We can also define the step like this. कि आप end step पे काम कर रहे हैं, first step पे काम कर रहे हैं, like this you just use that function. If we don't pass start, is considered 0. If we don't pass end, it just considered the length of array in that dimension. If we don't pass a step, it considered 1. अगर आपने किसी भी तरीके का स्टार्टिंग फंक्शन को इनिशियलाइज नहीं करा है, किसी भी स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्सिंग को इनिशियलाइज नहीं करा है, तो बाय डिफॉल्ट इट विल बी कंसिडर्ड 0. Same with the if we don't pass any step at the end, so it will considered as 1 by default. So this is the example. Slice element from index 1 to 5 from the following array. Here firstly we import the library. In the second line you can see the array is here, and lastly we are trying to print out the slicing value of 1 and 5 that is separated by the colon. So here is the answer is 4, 3, 2, 3 and 4, 5. 2, 3 and 4, 5. And our result, we can see that it includes the starting index but excludes the end index. This is the another example. Slice element from index 4 to the end of the array. Firstly, we introduce the numpy. Second line में आपके just simply array है. And here you are trying to print out the value for slicing indexing. The output is 5, 6 and 7. This is the another example. Negative slicing is also there. We use the minus operator to refer to an index from the end. Whenever we go for the negative slicing, we're just using the negative sign before the value. Here you can see in the example, firstly we introduce the numpy library, second में हमने array को insert किया, third में we are trying to print out the value of -3 and -1. That indicates the negative slicing. Let's try it out with the output. What is this? It will be 5 and 6. These are the following steps how to do the slicing. Use the step value to determine the step of a slicing. Very first, to return every other element from index 1 to index 5. Here we are trying to print out the value of 1, 5 and 2 indexing value. 2 and 4. Here you can see that it is a positive slicing, not a negative. Return every other element from the entire slice. 3, 5, 1, 3 and 5, 7. Slicing 2D array. This is the example of the 2D array. Let's try it out. It's print the value of array 0, 2, showing the result 3, 8. And this is the exercise based question. We're just answering it. Ashish. Hello.
1, 2.
Okay, let's go with the 1, 2. Correct. Now we have a topic like data types. Data types in Python. By default, Python has these data types. A string used for represent the text data. The text is given under quote. Make example ABCD. Whatever you write in a string, you just put it in the double quote in Python. Second one is integers, used for represent integers number like 1, 2, 3, and you can use the negative value also here like -1, -2, -3. Another one is float value, used to represent the real number, that is which is in the form of point. Yeah, so you can say in a decimal. Then boolean, used to represent true and false. Then complex, used to represent complex number. Like example 1.0 plus 2.0j, like this. These are the examples of the complex data types. Data types in NumPy. NumPy having a almost other extra data types. Like I for the integers and U for unsigned integers. These are the listed below of the other data types in NumPy, which has characters used to represent them. I for the integers, B for a boolean, U for a unsigned integer, F for the float, C for complex, M for time delta, small m for time delta, and capital M for date time. O for the object, S for the string, and U for Unicode string, and V for fixed chunk of memory for other type, that is void. Checking the data type of an array. To check the what is the data type of an array in which you are working, we're using the function that is dtype, which return the value of the data type of the array. Whenever you're using the array in your code, you just know to what is the data type of your array. You're just using the dtype function to know the what is the type of that array. Here is the code. Here is the code. We inserted an array in an integer form 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try it out and try to find out what is the value and what is the data type of that array. So here you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 is an integer value, and in the output, it shows you the data type. This is the another example. Get the data type of an array containing a string. Here you can say that there is a no numerical value. You are just writing down the string apple, banana, and cherry. Let's try it out. What is the data type of that? U6. Here we are creating an array with a defined data type. We use array function to create array. This function can take an optional argument data type that allows us to define the expected data type of the array element. हम ऊपर देख रहे थे कि हम डेटा टाइप को आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे थे कि व्हाट इज द डेटा टाइप इन द array. Here we predefined the data type of that array. Here is the example: import number as an np, and this is the array. Here we describe the data type, that is, now let's check it. This is the another example where we data type considered as I4. It shows the integer value. What if value cannot be converted? If a type is given in which element cannot be casted, then numpy will raise a value error. Value error तब occurred होगा जब numpy ने किसी भी element को casted नहीं कर रखी. What is that element looks like, integer या फिर string? It looks like, as you can see in the example, data type is initialized I. So this is the error. And here you can see in the error we have a value a, 2 and 3. Two value are the integer and one value is alphabetical. Converting data type on an existing array, we using a as type method. As type function create a copy of the array and allows to specify the data type as a parameter. The data type can be specified using a string like f for the float, I for the integer. You can use the data type directly like float and the int for the integers. F and I is the shortest form for the float and integer. आप उसको पूरा string form में भी use कर सकते हैं like float and the n. This is the example where we using the integer not as int as a I. And this is the another example where we using the data type as a int, not a I. Let's check it out the output. Here you can see the output is 1, 2, 3 and integer 64. Here we choose the data type as a bool, which tell us the value of in the term of true and false. Here is array 0, 1 and 3. If array having a value 0, it means false. Rather than it having a value, it considered as a true. So here is data type boolean, and here you can see that 1 represent as a true and 0 represent as a false and 3 represent as a true also. This is the exercise based question. Here is the array and bool type, and data type is bool. Now you can tell me what is the answer. Negative it is also. This is true. Hello.
Yeah. No idea.
NumPy array copy versus view. The difference between copy and view. The main difference between a copy and a view of an array is that the copy is a new array and the view is just a view of the original array. In the array, copy is what? Copy is just a new array. But view, whenever you're viewing the array, it is the original copy of that array. The copy owns the data and any changes made to the copy will affect the original data. And any changes made to the original array will not affect the copy. Whenever you're doing the manipulation in the original array, it will not affect the copy. But if you're doing the changes in your copy, so it will affect the original array. The view does not own the data, and changes made to the view will affect the original array, and any changes made to the original array will affect the view. ऑब्वियसली जैसा अभी हमने ऊपर पढ़ा कि अगर आप कॉपी में चेंजेस करते हैं तो इट विल अफेक्ट योर ओरिजिनल एरे, बट इफ यू आर चेंजिंग इन द ओरिजिनल डाटा इट विल नॉट अफेक्ट योर कॉपी. So here is the simplest code of the copy. Let's try it out. Here you can see the output, which copy the 42 at the place of 1. This is the code of the view. Where we view one value as a 42. This should be affected by the original. Make changes in the view. How to make changes in the view? This is the code where we have an array and we are trying to make changes in the view. Let's try it out. Here you can see that there is no change in the output. So this is the concept whenever you know कि how array having their data or not. Every numpy array has an attribute base that return none of the array on the data. Otherwise the base attribute refer to the original object. This is the code for the printing the value of the base attribute to check if an array owns data or not. So none. Here attribute having their no own data. It means none represent the it will give you the, if you can say it will return the original array. So this is the simplest code where array is 1 2 3 and original array को हम trying to copy it. So what will be the result? क्या? Go with the
1 2
1
3 will
1
be
2
there
3.
only.
5 to 3
Yes.
try.
Okay. Let me check. Correct. The correct answer is 1 2 3. Array shape. Shape of an array. The shape of an array is the number of element in each dimension. We are having a dimension in our array and each dimension having that element that describe its shape. Get the shape of an array. NumPy arrays have an attribute called shape that return a tuple which each index having the number of corresponding element. This is the example to print out the shape of 2D array.
Hello
Here we
Nishu,
having
hello
a
everyone.
two.
Sorry to
Good afternoon,
interrupt.
sir.
Good afternoon. How is the session is going on?
It's
Good
good, sir.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How many you have joined?
Good
Only
afternoon,
4.
sir.
Good afternoon. And what about others? Prateek, Ankita, Deepak, Aditya? They have not joined.
No, sir.
Hmm.
No, sir.
Okay, so Nishu, when you are presenting the thing, so are you parallelly executing the code or another?
Sir,
Are you not
sir,
executing it?
sir, Aditya
No,
is
sir. I'm
exam
just trying.
today.
Sorry?
No, sir. I'm not executing the code. In the W3 schools, we having a try it yourself option. I just go with it.
No, no, that will not work. Na. You have to like how Shivam was presenting to yesterday and also parallelly executing it on uh, VS Code. So you are not doing like that today.
No, 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 sir. Sir, I told you my What is the problem with me?
Okay, you have
I'm
a
working
tab.
on that, sir. I'm working on that.
Okay, okay. What about others? Shivam, Ayush, Ashish, are you parallelly executing the code or not?
Yes, sir. We are doing it.
You are doing it right because just reading it like a theoretical class, it won't help you, right? You have to do it practically also. Otherwise, if any error come or anything happen, so you are not able to understand the thing, right? So where we have right now, what we have covered yet? Did we start
Sir, NumPy.
Python libraries,
Yes, sir.
NumPy?
NumPy. Yes, sir.
NumPy we have started, and before NumPy, did we covered everything?
Yes, sir. Yesterday, Shivam was covered everything.
Rupam Bhatt is now trying to join the call. Okay. Rupam. Okay, so everyone has covered before NumPy everything, right? Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why you this team is not seems to be very interested in AI/ML. You can see the other one, the web development team, all people will join in one go only. I did not have to take follow from them. Once I say, they all immediately join. Even that team is a big team. They have 12, 13 or 14 people, 14 students are there. Are you not getting interest in this, or what is the issue? Uh, because you have chosen this domain your own self. Okay. So I hope you all have interest in it. That is why you all have chosen this. Am I right? You people have interest in this? AIML?
Ji, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then what is the issue? Is the way I am presenting the thing to you, or the way we are, mentoring you is not uh, as per you want, or something? Is there is some issue from our end, or there is some issue from your end? If you try to elaborate it, try to tell this, so then I am able to figure it out. How can we create the solution? समझ रहे हैं ना आप? मतलब हमें बार बार कहना पड़ता है इस टीम से कि आइए, ज्वाइन करिए, डिस्कशन करिए, स्टार्ट करिए। उसके बाद भी मतलब चार चार लोग तो बाहर हैं अभी टीम से, और बाकी चार हैं अभी। अभी कौन ज्वाइन हुआ था? शिवम भट्ट, क्या नाम था? कौन स्टूडेंट है यार? आई थिंक ही हैज लेफ्ट फॉर व्हाट? हेलो, एम आई ऑडिबल टू
Yes,
ऑल?
sir.
Sir.
हम्म, फाइन। सो okay, it's totally depend upon you whether you want to learn or not, because at the last you have to present the thing at your college, in your company which visit your college. So if you are serious, definitely you will get a good job. But if you are not serious, because it's a very AIML is a very, it's a trending topic and a trending subject. Okay. Nowadays, everything is getting related with AIML. And if you have chosen it, try to learn it in the call, offline the call, wherever you get. And try to, if you, even if you did not chosen this by your own, or you just think that AIML is booming, then we can join. Then even after that, you have to, take the interest in this AIML. Please give me 1 minute. Yeah, so what I'm saying that either you people have chosen this domain by your own, or by after coming under the influence of others, right? So a reason would be anything, but you all need to be work on it. You need to be learn this. Okay, so please pay attention on this. And if I am saying anything, if I am doing some activity for you, it is for your betterment only. Okay, so please pay attention and give your best. Okay, Nishu, please continue.
Yes,
And
sir.
one another thing, yeah, yes, you all are parallelly executing the code, right? Because that is the only way you can understand the thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any challenges or any issue did you anyone has faced till now?
Sorry, sir.
You people have faced any challenges, any issue or any query you all are having any query till now
Yes, sir. In some topic, I have.
in some topic? Okay, just do one thing, note it down in a notepad with you.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I will discuss in tomorrow call, because I am quite
Okay.
busy today. So tomorrow I will discuss. Any one of you have any issue, any query? Just note it down and keep it with you. I will discuss tomorrow. Okay,
Yes, sir.
please go ahead. Please continue your presentation.
Yes, sir. The next topic is shaping of an array. The shape of an array is the number of element in each dimension. How many element you having in their dimension of the array, it will considered as a shape of that array. Get the shape of an array. We are using the attribute that name is shape that return the tuple with each indexing having the number of corresponding element. This is the code of the 2D array shape. Let's try it out. We are having a the shape of that array is 2 and 4. The output shows the value of 2 and 4, where 2 represents the dimension of that array. The very first dimension is 2, element and second head as a 4. Here is another example, creating an array with the 5 dimension using a n domain using a vector with values 1, 2, 3, 4, and verify the last dimension it has a value considered as a 4. Now try it out. Here we get the answer of the shape of the array, that is 1, 1, 1, 1 and 4. What does the shape tuple represent? Integers at every index tell us about the number of elements the corresponding dimension have. In array we having a dimension and that dimension having an element. That numbering of that element is considered as the dimension of that tuple. In the example above, at index 4 we have a value 4. So that too we can say that key fifth, that is 4 plus 1 dimension has having a 4 element. This is an exercise based question. Now what is the shape of that array? 1, 2 and 3, and here is the 4, 5, 6.
2 and 3.
Maybe 2, 3. It's correct. Go ahead. Another topic is the array reshaping. Reshaping array. Reshaping means changing the shape of an array. The shape of an array is the number of elements each in each dimension. We studied it earlier. By reshaping, we can add or remove dimension or change the number of elements in each dimension. तो रीशेपिंग एक अनदर कंसेप्ट है एरे के अंदर, जिसके यूज से हम किसी भी एलिमेंट को ऐड ऑन या फिर रिमूव ऑन कर सकते हैं डायमेंशन से, या फिर उसके नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स को वी कैन चेंज इट. So here we are trying to reshape the 1D array into the 2D array. This is the example where we consider the reshape range is 4 and 3. Here is the output. This is the example for converting the array 1D to 3D. This is the output of that array, where we're having a value from 1 to 12 in the array, and reshape value is the 2, 3, and 4. So here is question arises, can we reshape into any shape? If we're doing earlier shaping of the array, can we doing further NAT on it? Yes, as long as the element required for reshaping is equal in the both shapes. So yes, we can do it. We can shape an 8 element 1D array into 4 element in 2 row 2D array, but we cannot reshape it into 3D element, 3 row and 2D element, as would requires 3 into 3. It means 9 element. Obvious, it is a basic question. If we're having a 8 element in that array, so we just go for a 2D array, not for the 3D array. Because for the 3D array, you just need to 9 element in your array. This is the error based example. Here we are trying to reshape the array in 3, 3. So error represent that key we having a element in the array that the value is 8, which represent only the 2D array. But we are requiring and try to generate the 3D array of that array. So it is not possible for that. Return copy or view. Check if the returned array is a copy or a view. Here we are having an array that value containing the 1 to 8 and put the reshape of that value that is 2 and 4. It will reshape the array and output will be represent. Here is the concept of unknown dimension. you are allowed to have one unknown dimension, meaning that you don't have any specify an exact number of one of the dimension in reshape method. So for unknown dimension, we are using the negative sign, and that negative sign represent key you just don't know what is the number specified to that array to reshape that method. So here is the example that convert 1D array with 8 element to 3D array with 2 into 2 element. So this is the concept where entire array that containing the value from 1 to 8 it divided the further array into 2 element array. Flattening array means converting multi-dimensional array into 1D array. Earlier we are studied कि we are trying to update the array dimension in the increasing manner like 1D array, 2D array and 3D array. But flattening represent the you just to discrete it. D array. We can use the reshape and -1 in the bracket to do so. If you want to decrease the array sizes, you just use the reshape keyword and in the bracket you just using the -1. This is the code. We are trying to reshape the array in the -1 manner. Here we see the result that represent the value from 1 to 6. There are another keywords in the NumPy library which are using for the flattening the array. Very first is flatten, second one is revel, or rearranging the element for the rot 90 and flip and flipper and flipper. We can use it at the space of flattening. This is the exercise based question. Oh, 1, 2, 3, sheep 6. Now we're following the iteration. Iterating in the array. Iteration means going through element one by one. You just read out the every element one by one. As we deal with multi-dimensional array in NumPy, we can do this using the basic for loop for Python. Iteration array is go for the looping. If we iterate on a 1D array, it will go through each element one by one. It means in an array, it will be read out the every element one by one in a step by step. This is the example. Iterate on element of the following 1D array. Here we considered a 1D array and trying to read out the every element one by one. Let's try it. Here you can see the output 1, 2 and 3. Here we read out the element 1 first and second and then third. Iterating 2D array. In 2D array, it will go through all the rows. Here we are having an array element and try it out with the 2D array. Here it is representing the 2D array. जैसे हमने 1D array के लिए iteration किया, then further perform for the 2D array, ऐसे हम n dimensions के लिए भी array को perform कर सकते हैं, iteration को perform कर सकते हैं. To return the actual values, the scale is we have to iterate the array in each dimension. Iterate on each scalar element of the 2D array. Import numpy. This is the array. And try it out with them. Here you can see that we are having a value 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6 in the output, which considered as a 1 by 1 iteration. Similarly, we go for the 3D array dimension. Here in the output, you can see we have the two Array separated in the 2D array. Iterating arrays using AND-DETER. The function AND-DETER is helping function that can be used from very basic to very advanced iteration. It solves some basic issues which we face in iteration. Let's go through with the example. So AND iteration जो function है, we are using that function for the very basic to the very advanced iteration. This is the example. Iterating on each scalar element. In basic for loop, iterating through each scalar of an array, we need to use n loops. We are trying to go for the loops, which we can be very difficult to write in array, very high dimensionality. This is the example where we are following perform the iteration through the following 3D array. After performing the loop, we got the output like 1, 2, and 3, 4 till 8. Iterating array with different data types. In the iteration concept, we also having the data type concept. We can use the OP data types argument to pass in expected data type to change the data type element while iterating. NumPy does not change the data type of the element in place where the element is in array, so it needs some other space to perform this action. So changing the data type of the element in place, you just need to go for the performing the other actions. That extra space is called the buffer. And in order to enable it, we are using the function NDIter. We pass the flag that is called the buffered. Here is the example. We are trying to iterating the array with the different data types. We are just performing the iterating with different step size. We can use filtering and followed by iteration. This is the example. Iterate through every scalar element of the 2D array, skipping one element. Here we're skipping one element in 2D array. Let's try it out. Here you can see in the output I got 1, 3, 5, and 7. Because here we are skipping the one element. Enumeration means mentioning sequence number of something one by one. Just sequencing the every element in the array. Sometimes we require corresponding index of the element while iterating the enumerate method can be used for those use cases. This is the example of the enumerate. Here you can see where the indexing number is 0, we got the value 1, and where indexing number is 1, we got the value 2. And the next line we can see here is the indexing value is 2, where we get the value as a 3. This is the example for the 2D array element. This is the code. NumPy.array. We are having the element like A, B, and C for X in array and try to print out the value plus X. This is will be answer according to me. It's correct. Now move further. Another concept in the array is joining. Joining is putting content of two or more arrays in a single array. Just trying to add on the things. Just trying to add on the arrays in a single manner. In SQL, we join tables based on key, whereas in NumPy, we join arrays by access. In NumPy library in Python, you just adding the two arrays by the array by access. We pass a sequence of array that we want to join the concatenate function along with the access. If access is not explicitly passed, it taken is by default 0. This is the example. Join two array. Here we are trying to concatenate the two array and trying to join out the two array in a single. As you can see in the result, our first array element having the 1, 2, and 3, and second array having the element of 4, 5, and 6. But after a concatenate of the array 1 and 2, we got the value in a single sequence in a single manner, that is the 1, 2, and 4, 5, and 6. Just go with the example of 2D array where rows and axes is equal to 1. Let's try it out also. Here after the concatenate, we got in the value. Earlier we concatenate if joining the array by using the concatenate function, but we should also go for the stack function for the concatenate, or you can say key using the array in a single manner. The stack is sum is the concatenation. The only difference is that the stacking is done along a new axis. We can concatenate two 1D array along the second axis, which would result in the putting them one over the other is a stacking. Pass a sequence of array that we want to join the stack method along the axis. If axis is not explicitly passed, it taken as 0. This is the example where we considered the two array and tried to add on the two array by using the stack function. Here we considered axis is equal to 1. Here you can see, because we got we take a axis is equal to 1, and here is the output where we got a 1, 4, 2, 5, and 3, 6. Stacking along rows. For joining the array by using the stack function, we should using the hstack function. This is the code where we import library and consider the two array and try to joining the two array by using the hstack function. Straight out the output. So here you can see, here we are doing the stacking in a row manner. Over the V columns. So stacking along the columns, we using the V stack function to performing that. This is the code. Here you can see the output is not in a single line because we are performing a stacking in a column manner. So you just consider the value in a column manner, and horizontally you just go with it like 1, 4, 2, 5, and 3, 6. Now stacking along height, it means that we're using a D stack function for that function. This is the code where we consider the two array and try to joining the two arrays stacking function with height. This is the output where we got the value as a depth function. This is the exercise based question. One of these function can be used to join it two more arrays. Which function? I think it will be concatenate. Yes, it's correct. Now move further. Topic is a splitting array. Splitting means just dividing the. Splitting is reverse operation of join. Joining merges multiple array into one, and splitting break one into multiple. Obviously, it is very simple to know. Key joining means we are trying to add on the multiple array into a single one, but splitting breaks down the whole. Yeah, you can say this single array into the multiple array. We can use array split function for that to splitting the arrays. This is the example. Niche split the array in three parts, where we first considered the library. In the second line, we using the array which having element from 1 to 6. Now we are trying to split the array, and the value of that splitting value is 3. Let's try it out. Here in the output, you can see it divided the array into three parts. The very first is 1, 2, second one is 3, 4, and third one is 5, 6. As a result, you can see a list containing the three array. If the array has less element than required, it will adjust from end accordingly. Here you can see we are trying to split the array in a 4. So this is the output. This is the output. In a very first array, we are considered a value 1, 2, and second one is 3, 4. After that, because here we take a value 4, splitting value is 4. That's why it take a element single. We also have a method split available, but it will not adjust the element when element are less in source array of splitting like an example above. Worked properly, but a split would fail. Split into
Uh,
arrays. Now this is the concept of
Excuse me, Nishu. Sorry to interrupt you. Till
yes
where
sir.
we have till where we have covered? Where we are?
Uh, splitting
Splitting
splitting array.
splitting array.
Yes sir. numpy चल रहा है और उसमें
Hmm.
splitting array.
Okay, okay, fine. So I hope you all are also parallelly doing the code at in your
Yes,
machine,
sir. We
right?
are doing it.
Separately. Okay. Okay. Nishu, you need to arrange some laptops so that you can also able to do this. Otherwise,
Yes, yes sir.
in coming days when we are working on the project, it will be hard for you to develop a project. Okay.
Yes sir.
So try to because on
Yes
iPad
sir. I am
it is not means you are not able to do coding, right?
yes sir.
Fine. So what we can do, we can keep this till here, and then from tomorrow we will start. Okay. Uh, and ask in your team, ask your others who has not joined, ask them to be regular in the class. Okay. Otherwise, um, there is an issue in the end that you people who is not joining the call properly. First of all, you are not able to understand the thing. Other, you are the project you are. If we are asking to develop a project, live project, and that you are not able to do because your basic will not get clear, right? So communicate this who has not joined. At least if you are not able to join, you have to put a message in the group that this is the reason. For this reason, I am not able to join, right? And the reason would be genuine reason, valid reason. So just communicate this to others and try to be on time in the call because we are not spending much time in the call, only 2 hours, 3 hours in morning and 2 hours in 5 hours only we are working. But as per policy, we have to work 9 hours. If you look into your offer letter, internship letter, 9 hours is mentioned. But since you are all interns, so we are giving you 3 or 4 hours of break so that you can also keep yourself, you know, in a healthy state of mind, right? So that is the reason we are whatever the best we can do, we are doing for you. But at your end also, you have to be proper. Uh, you have to be properly, respond. Otherwise, there is no use of doing the things. Hope you all are understanding this and. Uh, for today, we are going to wrapping up this call. We will meet tomorrow and work further. Okay. Anyone has any doubt? Okay, Nishu is having some doubts. So tomorrow I will address these doubts, those who are having,
Okay
right?
sir.
So tomorrow we will connect and work on it. By that time, if you
Okay
get a
sir.
time at your home, keep practicing on Python as much as possible, because this is the only key thing which will help you in developing the project, also in getting a good job. Because in interview also, there will be multiple round of interview will happen related with coding. So you all need to, from the beginner to the advanced level, right? So you all need to be to be excellent in the coding, especially Java, this Python. Fine. I'm wrapping up this call for the day. Thank you all. We'll meet tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.